And first of all, let's take a look at football. And it'll be the Red Devils. They'll be hopping on the bus and traveling to Hardin Friday night. See if they can't get back on the winning track. The Sydney Eagles will also be traveling this weekend. Big game for them. They go to Billings Central. That game is for 4 p.m. Friday, 4 o'clock in the afternoon Friday. Fairview, wow, they'll be hosting number 10 ranked Scobie Friday night. There's another big game in that North Sea. Floyd Lake, they'll be coming to Savage on Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock. The Lambert Lions, well, they're making the long trip out to Joplin Inverness Saturday. Circle Ritchie, they go to Jordan Friday night. The Terry Terriers, they're going to be playing the number 5 ranked Bulldogs now, and they'll be playing them in Ekalaka Friday night. Another big game for the Longhorns from Webo. Now ranked number 7, they'll be traveling to play number 2 now, Hysham. That'll be Friday night, so there's another big must game for the Longhorns. Beach is at Hettinger Friday night. Another battle of the unbeatens for Baker. The number 1 ranked Spartans will take on number 5 Plentywood Friday night up north. Carter County Bulldogs, we said, have Terry for homecoming Friday night. Poplar goes to Harlem Friday. Wolf Point, they play at Chinook Saturday night. Culbertson has the week off. Floyd Lake Redhawks, they play at Savage, as we said, Saturday at 1 o'clock, and Plentywood hosts number 1 Baker Friday night. DCC has, of course, their big dedication to their 2 fields this weekend, and there'll be some baseball played, alumni games, and the softball, fast pitch softball will also have a game, and they'll have a game with Billings on Sunday. In golf, Glendive and Sydney will be taking the golf teams, and most of the teams that have golf will be heading for divisionals, and the divisionals for Glendive and Sydney are at Billings Friday and Saturday. As far as cross-country is concerned, the big event this week is the Miles City Invitational. Sydney, Poplar, Wolf Point, they will be there. Now, let's turn to some volleyball and a big schedule there. DCHS, they go to a Billings tournament on Saturday. The Lady Eagles from Sydney, they're at Miles City Friday. Fairview participates in the Culbertson tournament Saturday. Savage goes to Bainville Friday, then to Culbertson also on Saturday. The Lambert Lions host Jordan tomorrow, and then they're at Culbertson on Saturday. The Ritchie Royals play at Terry Friday. Circle Wildcats, well, they're in Ekalaka for an invitational tournament on Saturday. Terry will host Ritchie Friday, go to Ekalaka Saturday. The Lady Longhorns from Webo, they entertain Hysham Friday, and then we'll go down to Ekalaka on Saturday. Beach will go to Belfield Southhart tomorrow. They'll play at a Dickinson tournament Saturday, and then we'll host Hettinger next Tuesday. The Lady Spartans stay home this week. Host Shepherd Friday, Bowman Saturday. Ekalaka has their own tournament, as we've said, on Saturday. Poplar is on the road this weekend. At Harlem Friday, at Chinook Saturday. Wolf Point is at home with Circle Friday and Malta Saturday. Culbertson is at Nashua Friday, and then they have a tournament on Saturday. Floyd Lake hosts Scobie Friday, goes to Culbertson Saturday. And the Lady Cats of Plentywood, they're at Chinook Friday, then back to Harlem on Saturday. So as we said, lots of action all weekend long. Turning to some ag news now, wheat production in Montana rose sharply from last year, with the winter wheat crop faring much better this year. The State Agriculture Statistics Service says spring wheat production was, well below last year's levels. Overall, wheat production did total 137.5 million bushels. That compares to 109.9 million bushels a year ago, when farmers were dealing with drought and pretty dismal winter wheat crop. This year, winter wheat production hit 63.6 million bushels, almost 3 times what it produced a year ago. Farmers seeded 1.8 million acres to wheat, winter wheat, for the second largest acreage planted since 1996. And the Statistics Service says greater yields and more harvested acres helped bump up the production. Well, we got something to celebrate next week. Of course, it's National 4-H Week. That'll be getting underway October 5th and run through the 11th. 4-H calls itself the nation's largest youth organization. Education specialists at land-grant universities throughout the United States develop the 4-H learning model and curriculum materials. In 4-H, members learn by doing, gaining practical skills about things that interest them, such as animals, horticulture, leadership, and, well, just a bunch of other topics. In the process, they also gain life skills, such as making decisions, managing resources, and communicating effectively. Montana 4-H is the youth development component of Montana State University's extension. It's managed at the county level by MSU extension agents. Funding for 4-H is provided through the partnership between the U.S. Department of Agriculture, MSU, and the county commissioners, with a lot of help from the Montana 4-H Foundation. Let's turn now to the Glendive Farmers Elevator. Here are some closing prices for you today. First of all, 12% spring wheat closed today at $3.27. 13% at $3.35. 14, $3.43. 15% spring wheat was at $3.47 at today's close. Ordinary winter wheat, $3.02. 11.5, $3.17. 13% winter wheat, $3.24. Feed barley unchanged at $1.85. Corn remained at $2.70. Soybeans, a little up again for soybeans, closing at $6.03 a bushel today. For your information, the Harvest Dinner and Bazaar is going to be held this Sunday the 5th. The Lambert School, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The dinner will be in the multi-purpose room. The bazaar will be in the music room, sponsored by the First Lutheran Church this year. Roast beef, salad bar, homemade buns and pies, should be delicious food. And a free will offering, of course, will be taken. The Harvest Dinner and Bazaar, the Lambert School, this coming Sunday. Well, on our focus on the family commentary, Dr. James Dobson points out that the right to criticize must be earned by those who have learned to respect.
When you want to offer advice to a person about a flaw or a shortcoming in his or her character, it's best to do it the way porcupines make love, very, very carefully. I'm Dr. James Dobson with Focus on the Family. You know, it's often difficult to open the eyes of friends or relatives to their own blind spots. It's even more risky to discuss a mistake in the way parenting responsibilities are being handled. You're liable to get your ears pinned back, even when your motives are honorable and you have the other person's best interest at heart. Let me offer a suggestion that may be helpful in handling this very delicate assignment.